Good morning. Again, some quick headlines. A mission to honor a father's memory ends in tragedy. One man is dead. His brother is seriously injured after their small plane crashed in Massachusetts. The men were trying to scatter their dad's ashes over their family home, and then tragedy struck. Horrible story. All right, Griff, I'm going to turn it over to you, buddy.
Thanks, Ed. We're going to bring in now Kevin Jackson. He's a Fox News contributor. You know him. He is the executive director of the Black Sphere. Kevin, good morning to you. I want to talk to you a little bit about a story. We have, of course, this story, the passing of hero John McCain. But there's another story out there, and that is what the DNC is doing over superdelegates, choosing to get rid of them, perhaps a day late and a dollar short for Bernie Sanders. What do you make of this?
Well, the Democrats are known for cheating, and Hillary Clinton was certainly one to use a superdelegate process, and I think the Democrats have realized the futility of what happened during the last election cycle, where Hillary was just shoehorned in. It was pretty much made, the Democratic nomination was made for her. So I think that the Democrats are taking a serious look at how the perception of what they did to Bernie is being perceived in their party.
It's not a perception. I mean, it is a reality, Kevin. I mean, for the channel, I was covering the Bernie Sanders supporters in the protest movement outside of the convention in Philly at the DNC. And unlike protests that I've covered in the past, in 2008, and other ones, you know, they were legitimately mad with the message because of what had been done by Clinton's own admission. So my question to you is, do you think the Democrats are going to get this right, or are they headed for more turmoil?
Yeah, interesting question, Griff. The answer is, will they get it right in terms of process? Probably. I think that they'll still try to implement rules that will let them shoehorn in the candidates of their choice. And let's face it, the Republicans have tried to do the same thing. But the Democrats have a bigger problem. The reality that faces them in terms of what is the Democrats' message going into 2018 and 2020? They still don't have one. They've gone from better, better, better to trying to steal the concept of MAGA from Make America Great Again from President Trump. And the biggest problem that they face, quite honestly, Griff, is the president. Donald Trump's a rock star in terms of his policy. Look at every demographic that the Democrats dominate typically, and Donald Trump has essentially been chipping away. The walk-away movement from Democrats is real, and a lot of Democrats don't believe it.
That's a great point, Kevin. So do you believe that this decision by the DNC was made more out of trying to do the right thing in the wake of wronging Bernie Sanders, or more out of fear and anticipation of Donald Trump in 2020?
I think it's a combination of both. I think they know that the Bernie, I forget what they called it at the time, but the Bernie Sanders group that was so offended when this happened, we know when they use the superdelegates to kind of cheat Bernie out of the nomination. So there's a part of that, but then Bernie sold out. So I think that delegation that ship has sailed to some degree. But I do believe there is a reaction that's occurring right now for the Democrats, because the blue wave is it's a pebble in the ocean. It's like throwing a rock into the ocean. It's gone. And as much as they try to reassure themselves that they're going to have a good midterm, it isn't going to happen. The Republicans will win, maintain the House in the midterms, and they will gain Senate seats. So I think that there is a reaction to part of that, yes.
And Kevin, we're just about out of time, but I wanted to give you a second. Bernie Sanders even put out a kind statement remembering Senator McCain. Your thoughts this morning as we mourn this hero?
Well, I feel for the McCain family, you know, and I'm friendly with Megan. I did Outnumbered with her and met her, and she was very magnanimous in helping me in my move to Phoenix. And needless to say, here in Phoenix, he's an icon. So I feel for the family. I think from a legislative point of view, and I think Brett made this comment that McCain does have some people that feel like he let Arizona down. But on this day, I think we have to dismiss that and just feel for his family.
Kevin Jackson, thank you very much for your time this morning. Have a good Sunday.
My pleasure. Thanks, Rick.
All right. The political world remembering Senator John McCain. The tributes pouring in as we honor McCain when Fox and Friends continues.